Hi, Guild members. It's Umpire LaFondiose. It's story time. We're going to read a little bit of history, and then as an umpire, I'm going to comment on what that historical action would look like on the table. This one's kind of a big one. Infantry on infantry with a night attack. As the German 10th Corps marched north, the sound of heavy gunfire could be heard ahead of it. And at 4:45 p.m., the Army commander's hurry-up order belatedly reached the Corps commander. In the face of this, the 10th Corps commander realized that however tired his troops must be, he must press forward up the Le Mans road. The advance was one of considerable difficulty. Not only was he now running into French prepared positions, but the terrain was of great assistance to the defense. And he quotes in his diary, "It presented extraordinary advantages to the adversary. Numerous ditches and banks offered cover to his skirmishers, while separate copses and farmsteads formed points of support for the defense." In spite of this, the leading troops of the 10th Corps pressed up the road and took the village that was the key to the center of the French position. The attack had fallen on the luckless Breton Gardes Nationales, who were no match for the battle-hardened veterans of the 10th Corps, and who, having taken the key village, were quickly reinforced. The French commander could see that his whole front would be split open if he did not retake that village, and ordered a night attack that went in, and when it did, it melted away in the face of the German infantry fire. The disappointed French troops did not merely return back to their start lines. Their spirit broken, they went north toward Le Mans, deaf to the orders of their officers. At 12:45 a.m., the French commander reported the disaster back to headquarters. So if we look at that on the board, that is almost 8 hours of action. If we have 1 hour turns, that's 8 full turns. That is almost the entire length of the game for this one action to have taken place. What it would look like on the Kriegsspiel board is the Corps commander would order the attack. The French commander would order the defense. For 8 straight turns, that Corps commander would just say, "Keep attacking." For 8 straight turns, the division commanders would say, "Keep attacking." The brigade commanders would perhaps do some maneuvering forward to try to take that village. But 35,000 virtual soldiers would move on that board forward to take that village. The French, the entire time, would be firing their artillery and trying to stop the attack, having gone to ground or in defensive positions to actually seeking safety or moving out of the position. The troops just thought it was not enough. So 4 turns in, the German commander had taken that village. For the following 4 turns, that's 4 turns, that's 4 full hours of time, night had fallen, and the French commander took units that had fallen back, and actually their spirit was broken, and tried to get them to attack. So that was taking a unit that was seeking safety and ordering them to attack, and it was ineffective because you can't take units that have already been pushed to safety and try to get them to get up and go into the attack. So it was not any surprise that the French attack failed. But that took 4 hours until the French commander finally called it a night. So you could, if you looked at the Kriegsspiel board, you could say this entire action was this one single attack, and then the attempted counterattack was the entire game, if we were playing a one-day game. Now here, to me, is the most remarkable statistic out of this. German losses were 6% of their total force. French losses were about the same if you accept prisoners. They had a lot more prisoners. That means that even though there was a full Corps attack into a defended position, pushing the French out of the position, and the French counterattacked ineffectively and then routed off the field, they both lost about 6% of their force. That is a very small number if you think about how it was presented to us. So when you look at the board and you're doing your orders, you can think that an action of an attack can take 4 to 8 hours, and you'd only have 5% casualties. But the threat and the loss of spirit in the defenders was the thing that decided the day and pushed them off the field. I hope you enjoyed this bit of history from the Franco-Prussian War set on the Kriegsspiel table, and I hope it illustrated some of the ideas that you'll see as we play together. We'll see you out there.